Winter storms swept across the Wyoming plains in 1888 as rancher Ethan Walker rode desperately through the snow with a newborn baby hidden inside his coat. Only hours earlier, his wife had died giving birth to their daughter. Heartbroken and terrified, Ethan knew the baby would not survive without a nursing mother. The only person who could help was Grace Miller, a young widow who lived alone in a small cabin outside town. Months before, Grace had lost both her husband and infant son to illness. Since then, townspeople treated her like bad luck and refused to help her. When Ethan knocked on her door and asked, "Can you feed my newborn baby?" Grace looked at the crying child and immediately agreed. The baby reminded her of the son she had lost, and for the first time in months, she felt her life had a purpose again. Grace began visiting the ranch every day to care for the baby, whom Ethan named Rose. As the weeks passed, Rose grew healthy and strong. She smiled whenever Grace entered the room and quickly became attached to her. Grace loved the little girl as if she were her own child. At first, Ethan was simply grateful. But as winter deepened, he began noticing Grace's kindness, patience, and strength. She never complained, never asked for money, and always put Rose's needs first. Slowly, Ethan found himself looking forward to her visits. One night, a fierce snowstorm trapped Grace at the ranch. After putting Rose to sleep, Ethan and Grace sat together beside the fireplace. They spoke honestly about the loved ones they had lost and the loneliness they both carried. For the first time, they realized how much they understood each other. A deep connection began to grow between them. As months passed, everyone in town noticed the closeness between Ethan and Grace. Unfortunately, not everyone approved. Rumors began spreading that Grace was only helping because she wanted to marry a wealthy rancher. Some people claimed she was pretending to care about Rose in order to secure a comfortable future. Grace ignored the gossip as best she could, but the cruel words hurt. Then one day she overheard Ethan listening to those accusations. Although he did not openly agree, he failed to defend her completely. That small moment of doubt shattered her heart. Grace had given everything she had to help Ethan and his daughter. She had loved Rose without expecting anything in return. Knowing that Ethan could still question her loyalty was more painful than any rumor. Before sunrise the next morning, Grace packed her belongings. She kissed Rose goodbye while the baby slept and quietly left the ranch. When Ethan discovered she was gone, he felt a terrible emptiness. Rose cried constantly and refused to be comforted. The ranch felt cold and lifeless. For the first time, Ethan truly understood how important Grace had become. He realized that Grace had never given him a reason to doubt her. She had been loyal, honest, and caring from the very beginning. His mistake was allowing other people's opinions to influence him. Determined to make things right, Ethan left the ranch and began searching for her. He traveled across towns and settlements throughout Wyoming. Weeks passed before he finally found Grace at a small community near the mountains. There she was caring for several orphan children. Seeing her surrounded by children confirmed everything Ethan already knew. Grace's kindness was genuine. She helped others because that was simply who she was. Ethan approached her and apologized sincerely. He admitted that he had failed to trust her when she deserved his complete faith. Grace confessed how deeply his doubt had wounded her. The problem had never been the town's gossip. It had been Ethan's silence. Before they could finish their conversation, a powerful blizzard struck the area. Several children became stranded outside town, and Ethan and Grace joined the search party. Together they battled freezing winds and dangerous conditions to rescue the missing children. Throughout the rescue they relied completely on each other. The trust that had once been damaged slowly returned. By the time they found the children safe and brought them home, both Ethan and Grace understood what truly mattered. A few days later, Ethan invited Grace back to the ranch. When Rose saw her, the little girl immediately reached out her arms and smiled. Grace held the child close, tears filling her eyes. Ethan finally spoke from his heart. He told Grace that he did not want her to stay simply because Rose loved her. He did not want her there because he was lonely. He wanted her there because he loved her. He respected her strength, admired her kindness, and could not imagine a future without her. Grace saw genuine regret in his eyes. More importantly, she saw a man who had learned the value of trust. After a long moment, she smiled and accepted his love. Months later, they married in a small ceremony surrounded by friends and family. The same town that once rejected Grace now respected her. Together, Ethan and Grace raised Rose in a home filled with warmth, loyalty, and love. Years later, Ethan often remembered the snowy night when he had arrived at Grace's cabin carrying a newborn baby and a broken heart. One simple question had changed all their lives forever. "Can you feed my newborn baby?" Grace had done far more than save a child. She had given a grieving rancher hope, built a family from heartbreak, and proved that true love is founded on trust. The lesson was one Ethan never forgot. Never test the loyalty of someone who genuinely loves you. Trust is precious, and once broken, it can be difficult to repair. But when trust and love stand together, they can overcome even the harshest storms on the frontier.